Hello everyone and welcome back to Boulder Cove. This is episode 25 and today we're gonna work on this sort of like transfer hub district. It's not completely finished when we are finished with this video, but this video is sort of like a putting down the basics, which is the most important thing. So we're gonna have a when we're done with this, we're gonna have a train station. We're also gonna have a metro station, like central metro and train station. We're also gonna have a passenger cruise terminal. We're also gonna have trams, and we're also gonna have one of those intercity buses, which are new to the game. They came with the last DLC, Sunset Harbor. So yeah, it's basically almost everything packed into one small area. And that was sort of what I was going for, but we won't be finishing up this area. It won't look too good when I'm done, but the reason why is because it's this area is going to be very much incorporated into the downtown area, and I want to have another episode where I place down buildings for the downtown area. So it's going to be kind of open and left unfinished for now, but sooner rather than later it's gonna be looking pretty good, hopefully. Definitely gonna look very natural. I am very pleased with how this turned out. The first thing I am working on is building this railroad. I thought first I could have a sort of a warehouse at the end here, but I instead went with the tram depot, which I just didn't think about first, but this actually sort of looks like a depot for also trains. To have this on the edge of this railroad, or rail yard, or whatever you should call it, it fits perfectly. It looks really good, and yeah, it definitely works because we do need a tram depot. So it's nice to get this depot fairly central. This tram won't be, it won't go all over Boulder City, actually just a very small area, but yeah, for now it only goes for 2 stops. It's basically nothing, so it's yeah, we got a little left in order to, we got a lot of infrastructure to place down before we can actually start creating these routes. I have created a tram route. It's far from finished. It's just 2 stops, as I just said. I also placed down a train line that goes from Boulder City and all the way past Glen Falls, which we built in last episode. It also goes past Wandsworth, Buxo and Norton, so we actually got a little bit more movement now, which is nice. But yeah, these lines, they're just they're not permanent. They're very much just to have something there that I can look back at and so sort of see if it works or not. You can also see me place down these cars, or these train cars. Is it called train cars? I think they're called train cars. Downloaded them from the workshop, and what's nice about them is that they are actually the same as the vanilla train uses. So when those kinds of trains go past this area, you can see the same cars are already placed down as props in this rail yard. So it definitely has some continuity, which is also something I do love to see. Now, I do apologize if this video is kind of all over the place. I did actually struggle to sort of figure out what I wanted, and it's a little bit difficult because this the way I built this was sort of, I didn't really have a quite a good plan to follow. I wasn't quite sure what I needed and where it should situate itself. I didn't know quite what I was looking for. In the end, I'm very happy with how it turned out, but still it's a very much unfinished product. So it's not quite there yet, but that's why this time lapse might seem a little bit all over the place because we worked on a rail yard, then suddenly we worked on the cruise terminal, and then we jumped back to working on this pathway that connects the cruise terminal to the it's a train station. It's actually a train and metro station. Also, I believe new. Most definitely is new from the Sunset Harbor DLC. But yeah, it's a little bit all over the place. You're gonna see me soon enough place down also the metro, no, not the metro line, the tram line. It's a lot to keep track of, but yeah, it's a little bit all over the place. But yeah, that's sort of what happens when you have a lot of things you need to place down and you're not quite sure how it all fit. It's a lot easier with buildings, I think, because then you can take sort of one grid at a time, or just place down one building at a time, and it will turn out great on its own. It's a little bit more difficult when you need to incorporate these individual services that should, function on their own, but they need to sort of be connected somehow, and it's somewhat of a mess, but as I usually say, in the end it turned out pretty great. And to sort of talk a little bit more about the tram line, I want the tram line to go past the cruise terminal and to sort of further go down the the peninsula that we haven't built yet in Boulder Cove, or Boulder City is the name of this city. It's sort of on the south tip of the city. It's a little bit tough to explain, but it's definitely the area that we haven't done anything on. So if you're driving on the one huge interchange that we have placed down here, instead of going straight down to the city, you take the other route, you go the opposite, and then you reach like this peninsula. And for now it's nothing there. I actually placed down a power plant just to sort of have enough power in the city, but I'm gonna build that up, and I want a tram line to go down there. So it's not gonna be the longest tram line. I'm probably thinking about I do have 2 stops already placed down, so we might place down 5 more, something like that. It's it's a very short line, but it's sort of to have something that isn't metro, because I don't want to have metro lines all over the place. I do want something a little bit unique in every single neighborhood almost. What's great about the new DLC as well is that you can place down these metro lines above ground. I'm still pretty sure that the metro overhaul mod is way better than the now vanilla overground metro stuff. But yeah, it's nice to have something in the base game now that sort of mimics what the metro overhaul mod does perfectly, because this series isn't really heavy when it comes to different kinds of mods. It's fairly light when it comes to mods and assets. I think I have less than 100. You can check that out if you want to. I have the mods and asset list in the description, so there's a collection down there if you want to check that out. But it's basically nothing special, and most mods that I have are basically sort of mods that make the game look better. There you have what's it called, ultimate eye candy, or something that changes the lighting and sort of also changes the resolution, makes that a lot better. So most are just to make it look nicer, not really affecting the gameplay to some extent. Some do, of course, but it's fairly light. I do love having that sort of a challenge to build something that is realistic and that functions in the game, and that could be and it looks beautiful as well, while using, I would say, 98% vanilla assets. So it's a little bit of a challenge, but yeah, that's the fun part of it. I could have gone ahead and downloaded 5,000 assets from the workshop, but you know, I've done that so many times. It feels good to do something else, and hopefully you guys enjoy that as well. I'm not opposed to workshop assets. I just fancy a little break from them, but I do hope to one day return with a series that is a little bit more detail driven than this one, and a little bit more focused on, does this look realistic, instead of this, which is sort of, does it feel realistic, does it function realistic? So it, you know, sort of a more detail driven series, but that is I can say that it's in the works. I'm currently working on something, but it's very hush hush. It's yeah, let's keep a little bit more quiet. But yeah, it's coming. It's coming all right. But for now, Boulder Cove isn't going anywhere, and yeah, it's not going anywhere if I'm starting on a new series as well. It will be sort of like a season finale, and then I might take a break after working on that new series for a while, and then I'll return with a sort of like a season 2 of Boulder Cove. But I'm not quite sure how much I'll do before I'll eventually sort of end the season 1 of Boulder Cove. But for now, it seems like I can do a lot, definitely with Boulder City right here. I do believe I want to work on the downtown in the next episode, just because this area doesn't feel quite finished yet, but it hopefully will once I've done the downtown area and placed down some buildings to sort of make this entire area look a lot more complete. But I also have placed down a ferry terminal now, I can see, so it's a lot of different services in this entire area, and hopefully you can see it in the cinematics at the end that is a lot of people walking around here. There's also a lot of people using the different kinds of services. I have placed down a metro line, so you don't see that many people because, you know, most people are in the metro, which is underground, unless the metro is at the like sort of the central station of Boulder City. Then it's above ground, but then it directly goes underneath again. But looking at people going from, for example, the train station to the cruise terminal or to the tram line here, or just all over the place, it's packed, and it's just, we just started this city. I can't wait till we have actually built up more infrastructure in this one, because then we're gonna see a lot of people, and I can't wait really. I do hope the city don't break or anything, because eventually when you reach a certain population, I think it's around 65, once you go above that limit, the game starts acting a little bit more funky, if you know what I mean. It struggles with simulating every single one, and it might cause a little bit of an issue. If you play this game and you create a city with more than 65 or 70,000 people, you might see that in, for example, if the simulation, you can't speed that up anymore. That's just simply because it's a lot, you can't run that. It takes just too much power from your computer really. So yeah, we're not quite there yet, but the day might come actually, sooner rather than later, that we're gonna have a little more iffy situation on our hands. But hey, that's it for this episode. I've been rambling for a while again. I do hope you enjoyed, and we're gonna have some cinematics. You can probably see that the cinematics are very much zoomed in, so you're not that many shots that is like panorama shots or anything. As I said, just because this area doesn't feel quite finished yet, but if you zoom in enough, it definitely feels finished. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you got any ideas on what you want to see next, if you got any thoughts in general, please let me know. Comment section down below, or contact me on Twitter or Discord. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I would like to thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.
I look into your eyes, I see we're out of time. I guess no one's to blame, nobody crossed the line. I guess we couldn't see, somehow we couldn't feel. Maybe we rose too fast, maybe we got too high. But I remember days I wonder we were always gonna last. Yeah, I do remember tears and the laughter. How could we fall so fast? Will be no hard goodbyes, thank God we're civilized. Be on our separate ways as we fade into gray. But I still miss the way you used to feel.